Hello, this is Jess. December 21st, 2017. Chat session number 51. Again, December 21st. It's Christmassy. So I thought I would show the tree if I knew how to work this thing properly. There it is. There it is. It's Christmassy here. Way across over there. In the far distance is Christmas lights, and then there's some outside. Sorry about that. Hope you didn't get sick from doing that. I almost did. Alright, we're going to go right into the chat session, to the tidbits of history. We're going to go to 1988. Pan Am Flight 103 from London to New York explodes in midair over Lockerbie, Scotland, killing all 243 passengers and 16 crewmen and 11 Lockerbie residents on the ground. 189 of the passengers were American citizens. A hidden bomb hidden inside an audio cassette player detonated in the cargo area when the plane was at 31,000 feet. At that time, it became Britain's biggest, largest criminal investigation, and there was sanctions. Libya somehow got tied into it, and they denied it, said no, but they figured out it was Libya, and sanctions were placed on Libya. From United States and I guess other countries, but finally Libya admitted there was two people they were holding, and they gave them up for prosecution, and one of them was sentenced to life, the other one was acquitted, but it lifted the sanctions off of Libya, and they publicly came out and said the only reason we did that was to get rid of the sanctions that were crippling their country. And it infuriated all those family members of all those people that were on the planes, and they ended up paying like $8 million per victim's family. The person that was killed, their family got $8 million each, so there was all that money being spent. And then the airline that it was on, I guess Pan Am, filed for bankruptcy, and they sued Libya and got paid $30 million or something. But yeah, it was a big deal. When a flag gets blown up and stuff. But a lot of stuff was going on in the background politically with that. Again, if they're such terror organizations, why don't they not pay that money, or why do they ever pay money, and how do they make them do it? What's the guidelines? Okay, I'm a terrorist country, I'm going to go and cause chaos in a way that they can sue me later, and I got to pay them money. I was just curious about that. Maybe I guess there's some things I just don't understand, but I know if they're going to go out and do all that kind of stuff and then get somehow convicted, I don't know who's convicted in world court, I don't know what is it, and then they end up paying people back for their terrorist shit that they did or whatever. That's so odd to me. Maybe I'm just seeing something there I shouldn't, but it just seems odd to me that all these countries that are full of terrorism and different things, and then they turn around and pay people back and try to make restitution. It just doesn't make sense to me. Okay, we're going to move on. That was tidbits of 1988, tidbits of history 1988. Now we're going to go to 1918. The 26-year-old collegiate and amateur ice hockey star Hobey Baker is killed in a plane crash in Toul, France. He was killed in Toul, France, just after World War One had ended. Hobey Baker played at St. Paul's School in Concord, New Hampshire, and 4 years at Princeton University, leading the team to a 2 intercollegiate championship in 1912 and 1914. He was also captain of the football unit, and they won a national championship in 1911. Baker joined the World War I effort and flew in the infamous Lafayette Escadrille, which was an elite squadron of the French Air Force. He painted his plane orange and black, the colors of his beloved Princeton Tigers. He was actually testing the new planes that they had just come up with after World War I ended, and that's when he crashed. He was testing out, I guess, new military aircraft, or I don't know. But he was inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 1945, and now every year in hockey, the Hobey Baker Memorial Award is presented annually to the best college hockey player in the country, sort of like the Heisman Trophy is for football, but it's hockey. So I don't know this guy's record or anything, or what he did, but they said on the story that I read that he could be anywhere on the ice at any time, defense or offense. He just knew the game of hockey so well. Alright, so that's the tidbits of history, 1918. And now we're just going to sort of free for all it. I understand that some people think that this tax plan that's been hustled through our government with revisions and different things, and it's my understanding that people think that they're going to do well under this new tax bill. I have my reservations, just because anytime that you allow corporations to receive tax reductions over the people that live within the country that makes the money for those corporations with the money they spend, you have a very scary situation as far as economics would be concerned. And the thing that adds to the whole insult of it is the fact that in 10 years, all the deductions that were given to people in the middle class, if they say there's these deductions, they expire, but the corporation tax cuts are permanent. Now, how does that even make sense? How can that be fair to anyone when the people are going to be removed? If there is deductions, they're going to be expire in 10 years, and yet the corporations, the businesses that are banking, will never lose their tax breaks. I think that businesses, I mean, there could be, and this is sort of difficult for me to understand as well, but there could be some short-term benefits of these tax breaks to the corporations, and that is higher wages to the worker. But I think it's all just a penance to what they'll be making by not having to pay the tax on the money they make. It's supposed to, revive all this activity. I challenged the results of that. Um, there was no revival of activities during the Bush tax cuts, just a debt that was handed off to the president after he was in there for 8 years. And now we're right back at that same point. And it seems like they just know we don't remember. They know the administration, they use science, and yet they get reelected and on lies to the people, how much they're for them and stuff. But when you end up after 8 years is the country, they say, hey, we got to bail out all this stuff because it's all fucked, it's all broke up, it's all messed up. And then the next administration comes in and gets inherited with all this stuff, and a lot of the stuff they flood off the books until they leave office, and then it gets reinserted for the budget and the deficit, and people say, oh, look what Obama did, it's just 3 months in. I was like, hey, you couldn't even have time to do any of that. It was all the stuff that they got put back on the books that Bush had kept off the books. And yeah, there's tricks, and you can say I'm crazy, but that's what's going to happen now. They're just going to keep all that money that's not accounted for anymore off the books until the next person takes over. If Trump doesn't win again or whatever, the next administration takes over, they're going to inherit this debt, and it always ends up being us, the people who are paying all these people's salary, end up getting screwed. And that may sound fair to some people that support Trump and support this tax plan and support the greed that runs rampant through our federal government, our state government, and our local governments. And the controls, it's amazing, the level of deceit, and the people are watching it and believing it. And that's that. That's all I can say about it. I could go on for days about it. It's stuff when, just remember this: what's wrong is wrong, and what's right is right. Let's be truthful, be happy, and let's look out for each other, okay? Have a great Thursday evening. Bye.